Yo, what is good, Knicks Nation? Welcome back to Knicks Media, and we got some breaking news. Cam Reddish and the New York Knicks are working towards a trade after we found out that Cam Reddish is officially out of the rotation for the foreseeable future. According to NY Daily News, Stefan Bondi with the report. We also heard a report from Fred Cass of The Athletic today that guys like Evan Fournier, Immanuel Quickley, Derrick Rose, and Cam Reddish have been brought up in trade discussions from the New York Knicks stake of things. So obviously, the Knicks are definitely going to be shaking up the roster way ahead of the trade deadline. December 15th, players are eligible to get traded after they sign a contract this past offseason. So there's going to be a lot of moving parts for the New York Knicks. And the one thing I will say about this Knicks front office that we've learned is they like to make moves way ahead of the trade deadline. They traded for Derrick Rose 2 seasons ago, like 2 months before the trade deadline. When they traded for Cam Reddish last year, that was a month before the trade deadline. They were the first one to make a trade. So you definitely don't have to wait until the trade deadline week before the Knicks make a move. So I want to give you guys my overall thoughts of this report, because it is kind of unfortunate that Cam Reddish never really got, his opportunity, and he didn't really capitalize on his opportunities here with the Knicks. And the case is, when you're a player like Cam Reddish that's under contract for this season and you're becoming an unrestricted free agent, the Knicks front office has to make a decision where, okay, is Cam Reddish someone that we want to pay long term? Because if not, he should get traded so we can get assets back. Now, I'm a big Cam Reddish fan. I think that he provides a big impact on the floor defensively. I love his length. I love his versatility. I love his, ability. He's a slasher more than a shooter, in my opinion. And it's unfortunate that his time with the Knicks never really, panned out. And I feel like when we traded for him last year, I was very excited about the news, him reuniting with RJ Barrett, and it was going to be, fun and all those things. But at first, it didn't really feel like Tom Thibodeau wanted him last year. And then this year, he's a starter for a lot of games. He has some really big time performances for the Knicks. But overall, Tom Thibodeau doesn't see him in this rotation. And we'll see what happens tonight against the Atlanta Hawks without Cam Reddish. But on Sunday, without Reddish, we saw Deuce McBride get minutes over Reddish and D Rose, and it worked out. So I don't know if that's, we can't really just look at that one game. It's a very small sample size. But the case is, man, I'm very disappointed that Cam Reddish is going to be moved. And I really thought that he had an opportunity here to be a long-term Knick. I really did. I knew a lot of things had to go his way in terms of him getting opportunities and, more importantly, taking advantage of his opportunities. But the reality is, man, the way that this Knicks team is constructed, there's a lot of players on this roster that deserves minutes, in my opinion. And yes, we are a middle-to-pack team. We're mediocre. We're 2 games below 500 right now. Things are not looking great. But we got to make some moves. And this Knicks team is not a team that can compete in the Eastern Conference. I think we can all agree with that. We'll get lucky if we can make the play-in tournament with the roster right now. But reality is they got to make some moves. And Immanuel Quickley is a guy that's been getting brought up. I'll make a separate video about that. I prefer to keep Immanuel Quickley, but he's definitely like one of the players on this Knicks team that has some type of value. And Evan Fournier is a guy that the Knicks have been out of the rotation. He might get traded, as well as Derrick Rose. So there's 3 guys out of the rotation right now that are being brought up in trade talks, which is Cam Reddish, Evan Fournier, and Derrick Rose. So we'll see what happens in the next couple of days, see if this is really going to spiral into an actual move or not. But it seems like it's mutual with this news, where like the Knicks and Cam Reddish both agree, like, okay, it's time to move on. It's time to, find something else, because Cam Reddish wants to play. He's playing for a contract right now. And if you're not going to give him an opportunity to go on the floor, then I don't blame Cam Reddish for saying, get me out of here, right? He's playing for his money. He's playing for a second contract. And I feel like Cam Reddish, he wasn't perfect this year, right? He wasn't consistent. He wasn't the best player on the floor at all times. But I kind of liked his game, and I thought that he was really going to be a player that Tom Thibodeau was going to, give him all the minutes he deserves, because I felt like his defensive versatility, getting into the passing lanes, the length that he provides with his long arms and his lateral quickness, he's not the greatest defender in the world. But I thought what this Knicks team is looking right now, I guess so. But then you look at the player that's been replacing Cam Reddish in the starting lineup, that being Quentin Grimes. I love Grimes right now. I mean, his defense has been spectacular. His shooting is getting there. He has a really good ability of slashing in terms of, off-ball movement, attacking the rim. Also, his playmaking has taken an upper notch. So if they're going to choose between Quentin Grimes and Cam Reddish, they're going to pick Grimes any day of the week, simply because we drafted him last year. We have a lot of more years of control with Quentin Grimes, whereas Cam Reddish is due to get paid after the season. So it makes sense to move on want from him if the Knicks do not feel like they're going to give him a contract extension. That's really what the front office is about. If you have somebody on the roster that is a pending free agent and you do not see him on this team long term, you might as well get an asset back while trading him instead of just letting him walk in free agency and you get nothing back. So let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section of this news that both Cam Reddish and his representatives and the New York Knicks both agreed to look forward to a trade, and we'll see where Cam Reddish goes. I don't know the type of assets the Knicks will get back. Maybe it's a second-round pick or two, or I don't think he's going to go for a first-round pick. I'd be shocked, to be honest. So we'll see where his trade value is at, but click the link down below in the description if you want to check out Bonnie's article for yourself so you can give it a read. He did a great job reporting this news, and hit that like button, guys, if you enjoyed, and comment down below your thoughts of this news, and I'll catch you guys next time. Let's go Knicks. Peace out.